So, even though language can seem mundane or simple, sometimes it is kind of hard to define, and it's a little bit difficult to actually grasp what it is since we use it so often but we don't really think about it. So, I'm going to go into the language domains and then the components of each of those domains. So, each of the language domains are form, content, and use. And within form, we talk about things that have to do with structure, how we put words together, how we put sentences together. And then there's content, which is surrounded with by the meaning of words and the meaning of sentences in language. And then last is use, and use is one that a lot of people wouldn't think about when defining language, but really we do subconsciously use certain language in certain contexts to get our point across, or depending on what environment we're in. So that's super important. So then we'll just go into the components of each. So within form, there are 3 components. There is syntax, which is the grammar, which you have probably heard before, how we put our words together, arrange them to make them make sense. And then there's morphology, which is the parts of words, the morphemes that we put together to make words make sense. So like the past tense ed that we add on to words to indicate that it was in the past. We also talk about phonology within form, which is the sounds that we use, and how those sounds go together to make sense as well. And then we go into content, which the components of content, there's actually only one. It's semantics, and semantics is a fancy word to say vocabulary, pretty much. We deal with definitions and the meanings of words, what meanings we put to certain objects and certain feelings. And then within use is pragmatics. Pragmatics is a fancy way to say how we use words, what context we would use certain words in, and pretty much just the rules for the social use of language.